I just read
Yeah.
post. I'm sorry.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 98. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We're a little late tonight because I can't technology. I thought I had everything set up right, and I was blaming Jason for not being able to hear him, and I fucked up. So
It's I'm used to it. I get blamed for shit. It's all good. Look, we're here, and that's all that matters. And we're drinking beer. And
we are.
And maybe Jordan will pop in. Maybe he won't. Whatever works.
Jordan has been away for a little bit. He just had child number 2, so I don't think we've said that on the show yet. But
I you know what? To me, it's just an excuse.
Congratulations to Jordan. Yeah, no, I hope he does come on. I think he will. We'll see.
No, yeah. I mean, a baby. He had his first child like right before we started this whole adventure. And
yeah, it was like May 6th or something. I think like our first show was on May 7th.
But yeah, it's been a while. I think I've forgotten how to do this. Honestly, do you even know when our last show was? Let me scroll.
It was the blind tasting of the American lagers.
It was
at Outre, which I realized as I was getting my stuff together today. I hadn't even hooked my mic back up to my computer since I took it apart to bring to Outre for that show. But I have not created the podcast for that episode yet. So I apologize. I'll get my shit together tomorrow, and hopefully I'll release like a double header or something.
Yeah, so that was like July, early July, and then we got kind of caught up in wrapping up Beer Cup and prepping Beer Camp, and yeah, it's been crazy. There was a lot of work to get ready for that, but it's over and it's done, and now we've had a week to recover and chill out, and so that's what we're here to talk about, right? Just recapping the last couple of months and Homebrew Fest and Beer Cup and all of that crazy shit, and just hang out and have a beer.
It'd be good. What are you drinking? What's your beer?
I'm probably the only thing I'll be drinking tonight, unless I sneak a hams in, but it's going to be Drafting Table's Simon Saaz because I found another 4-pack of it.
I'm jealous. I'm pretty sure that all of mine are gone, and I love that beer. I'm out of homebrew. I brought all of my. I think I brought like 6 kegs to beer camp this year, and I came back with like maybe a gallon of Dunkel, and I finished that off. I brought some of that to a friend's house. Beyond that, like everything else is gone. Thought I had a half gallon of mead or something. There's just water in the keg.
At first. So, for the story here is I get a text from Brian the other night. Somebody put water in our mead keg, and my first reaction was like, "Yeah, it was me, dude. I used the keg. Like, whatever. It's no big deal, And then it sunk in that I never told him that I used that keg to clean lines after beer camp, so he grabbed it thinking there's a half gallon or more of tasty, wonderful berry mead in there, and I imagine you like getting all excited and like getting that tap and then seeing water come out and being like, what the fuck, and panicking and checking shit. And then I'm like, holy shit, I'm a horrible fucking person.
You're not. It was funny. As soon as that happened, I kind of figured out that I made an assumption as to what actually happened, because somebody had told me out there, multiple people had told me that the mead kicked. And out there, I was like, cool, that's awesome. I'm so glad that people drank all of our mead. But then loading that keg back up and taking it home, I was like, oh, maybe there was a problem with the line because this keg still has like a bunch of stuff in it.
So Sunday morning, I get up. I'm one of the first people to go, to the bar area to start cleaning up. That was on the first tap of the boxes. So it was the first keg that I grabbed, and it was empty. And so I pulled it out, and I opened it up to look, and there was just a little bit of mead in there, and so I poured it in a glass and I drank it. And I rinsed the keg out, and I filled it with water, and I started to use that keg as a rinse keg because it was empty and small. And then I left it there with water so that you thought that there was wonderful mead left, and that's just. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's fine. We can make more. It's okay. I was bottling stuff up for the Valkyrie's Horn mead competition, and I hadn't paid for any entries yet. I was like, let me go and check and see, how this mead looks and how it tastes after going to camp. And so I'm glad I tried to pull a sample first because it didn't exist.
You're out of homebrew. What are you drinking?
So yeah, out of homebrew. I'm drinking. So I went out to Mega Bev earlier, and I was looking for Saison Dupont because I hadn't had that in forever, and I was really craving like a Saison today for some reason. Couldn't find it. Called around to a couple other stores. Nobody around here carries it. Apparently, I didn't check the Mega Bev over on West Main, but maybe I'll do that later. But since it's Oktoberfest season, I grabbed a Hofbrau Oktoberfest and a pack of the Founders Oktoberfest. So, and they had more, and I restrained myself. But
I've still got a closet full of macro lagers from the last show that we did. So somebody needs to help me drink my way through some Bushnell Milwaukee.
Jordan's asking for a code to get in, so I think he's going to be on in a sec here.
Awesome.
Yeah. In the meantime, I like your little display behind you there. I see a slightly larger award on the very right. What is that? What's going on over there?
Yeah. So let me. I did just set those up, so we'll get those off. So there is, as you may be able to see, there are 3 Homebrew Club of the Year plaques there. Keepers of Craft took Michigan Homebrew Club of the Year for the 3rd year in a row, and we got an extra large plaque for it this year. I don't know why Dan started making them bigger. Something about our medals. If you notice, let me grab it.
I was gonna say it looks like they've gotten bigger year after year.
A little bit, yeah. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I was a few minutes late.
Dude, no worries.
The old style had the old Michigan homebrew medal right here. And then, of course, we upgraded our medals this year. And so this new one now has the new, larger
I love it.
Michigan Homebrew Club medal. And so it justified a larger sign. And Jordan, yours is laying right there. So
Nice.
I will bring that to you. You won for, what did you win for?
It was for my my Schwarzbier.
That's right. Is this it? No. It was the bronze, right?
Yes, hello Tim. I am alive. The child has not eaten me yet.
So here's your medal, Jordan. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did tune into the stream while we were streaming it. So
I saw your comment. Shayna pointed it out to me right before the show started. You said, "Congrats, brain."
Brain Stevens. Yep.
It still happens more than you would think.
Apparently, that's.
So what are you drinking tonight then?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's that season, man. I'm going all. This is my basic bitch season with all these beers, and I've got some of this. Let's see if we can get that. There we go, Polliner. Oktoberfest. Yep. Costco had those, and I ran by Harding's, and they had the Hofbrau, and then I also have the Great Lakes Oktoberfest upstairs as well. I just had one of those before coming on the show with dinner, and that's pretty tasty as well. I don't think I have any more of those other ones that I sent you guys on the text thread.
I haven't had anything. I mean, I've been to Steins Park a few times, and I've had, whatever they've had on tap. But I need to go. I think this weekend I need to go pick up a bunch of tasty.
They have the Hacker Shore. Oktoberfest.
all right.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
it's $15 for like a 34-ounce like mug, but it's no tip, so it's kind of
Right.
yeah.
That's fine. I love Steins Park.
It's a lot to get through, but it's good.
Well, it's Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be drinking 30 some odd ounces of it regardless. So
Mhm.
Yeah. So we missed you at camp this year, Jordan. But how's the new kid going?
I know, I was so sad. I looked at all the pictures longingly, petting my phone, wishing I was there. Yeah, kid's doing great. We're just at the edge where we're getting about 4 hours of sleep at a time, so that's good.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, we're kicking. Charlie's a wonderful big brother, loves being a big brother. So there's that, which is really all we could ask for. And in fact, it seems like, at least so far, the past end of last week and early this week, seems like it's made him better at daycare than now.
Oh wow. Okay.
knocking on wood.
Yeah.
For a long time there, it was a struggle. I mean, we had some regression issues and whatnot, but other than that, like, it seems like we're hopefully, again, knock on wood, slingshotting back the other direction.
Excellent.
So
Good man.
Right on. I think we had arguably the best homebrew fest in memory, like that I can.
Not to make you feel bad. Or
Fuck.
No. Yeah.
No.
I mean, so this year Brian and I went really early, I think, and a lot of people thought we were crazy. But I'm really glad that we did. We went out on Tuesday and got the chance just to sit around a fire at Homebrew Festival. It was all quiet and just drink beer and
just relax for a moment, so it's not the hustle bustle. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep. And then got up the next morning, got up on Wednesday morning, started putting the canopy up and the site up, and it was nice not having to rush, and everything was just super easy. The canopy popped up in no time. The bar went up real easy. David was there to help us, and I think, I mean, barring new job and work and stuff in the future, this is what I want to keep doing. It was just so much more relaxed and laid back than it was in years past, trying to rush at like 6:00 on Wednesday night to set it up and stuff. So super happy about that. And then I mean, spoiler alert, we won everything, I think.
Yeah, I saw that we took everything there, so that's no contest.
No, huge shout out. So our theme this year, before that, our theme this year is sports bar. And for those that don't go to Michigan Homebrew Fest, the clubs kind of have a theme, and they have a party, and there's an award at festival that's given out called the Dead Grass Award that goes to the club, that has kind of like the most activity and with the most people in their tent that killed the grass that they're standing on, and even though we don't have any grass. And I want to give a huge shout out to the people in Keepers that helped come up with some of these ideas. Like trivia night with Ron and Brian and the others, and with the passport stuff, which I think was a brainchild of Connie Wickland originally, and that was awesome, or the Wicklands. And then last minute, even with Mark Hibbert and David Jones coming up with karaoke because Hibbert's brother didn't have a gig that night, and it was every time we turned around, the bar was packed, and there were so many people there. The beer passport. So what we did was we created a passport that if you drank all of 24 of the Keeper taps, over the course of the weekend, you get a little metal or plastic Keepers logo that David had printed and put on some Mardi Gras beads, and that thing went crazy. Like, there were so many people.
That's awesome.
Circling back to do that, it was just ridiculous. And then, like I said, Ron and Brian and the guys coming up with trivia. We had a large portion, more than 50% of the camp, sat at the Keepers booth for almost 2 hours, just doing
Wow.
trivia, and then a big thank you to Brian for supplying all of the wonderful awards that we gave out in trivia. Mead, was there cider in there? Just mead and beer.
Just mead and beer, but it was like Shrams and transient stouts. So like good prizes. Yeah.
So it was just, super cool. And then of course we nailed the Dead Grass Award, and Lori says she wanted one of our emblems so bad, but she couldn't limp over. She was she had some multiple injuries, I think, right? Like your arm and your leg, and felt bad. She was hobbling around on a cane. But it was super cool. And
double thanks to Ron, because we couldn't have done that without all the seating that he was able to acquire too. Like we had 6-8 tables plus all the chairs to go with them. Like,
wow.
And those were full a lot of the time, especially during karaoke and trivia. Like people wouldn't have come over just to like stand around for trivia or karaoke, probably. So
I will say this though, I was super surprised. Not only did we keepers, have a great year, of course, but there may not. I don't think there was as many homebrew clubs present this year. I know there were a couple that just had other commitments, and so we had a couple of open spaces. But the clubs that were there, all of them seemed to have brought it more than they had in the past. I mean, Very Cross, Lori's brought it to mind. They had a great theme and decorations, and prime time, and their whole race course thing, and even Pontiac, who could have called it in or phoned it in this year because they won Dead Grass last year. They still put on some stuff, and they had their Mark running around as Beer Squatch, which I pulled a couple of times, and KGB had an amazing tent, and I'm gonna forget all of these, but everybody seemed to have just awesome themes, awesome parties. Just seemed to have, I think there was more activity around camp this year, so that was really awesome to see.
Shane and Kanye for the shirts and the Hooters attire as well, which I think we got rid of most of those except for the super big ones. But I think at the mid-afternoon Saturday, we put on a wet t-shirt contest, like a guys only wet t-shirt contest, and somebody filled up a whole bunch of water balloons. I don't know whose idea that was, but it was great. And we had a couple people, a couple of the keepers guys stand out there, and we're like, hey, we're gonna have a wet t-shirt contest going on, and not a whole lot of people showed up. But then like we had people coming up to the bar asking if we had extra shirts because they wanted to participate, and we're like, yeah, pick out whatever you can out of the box. So like Beer Squatch, put on a shirt. We had people from other clubs. Mike Winnie, one of the Grandmaster judges in Kalamazoo, I believe, was out there in a shirt.
Oh yeah, I love it.
And we put on some stripper music, and all the girls went out with water balloons and drenched all the guys. It was pretty good.
It was awesome.
And everybody won. There wasn't a first place. Everybody shared the victory equally.
Yeah, I was trying to. So here, let me pull this up.
Oh my god! And Brian Fisher again. I don't know where he comes up with these, but for every single person that came out, he had whipped up like a cue card, like an introduction for them. And these were just like fucking hilarious. You have recording?
No, I don't have recording of that.
Oh, okay.
I saw this picture. Is Ron wearing his shorts above jeans?
Tim, not a keepers guy. I think that's Mike Winnie there. There was Beer Squatch. And yeah, I forget, David was on his way to the store to buy a hose, and then somebody, it might have been Amy or somebody else, was like, why don't you use water balloons? And I called David. I'm like, let's use water balloons. And then he came, like, yes, and came running back and filled up a bunch of those.
Nice.
And there's Shana and Brandon and McQuillan. We got more about McQuillan later, but
But there's always more about McQuillan. Matt, I love you if you're watching.
Wickland, funny behind him. So this is just it was amazing.
Just dudes being dudes.
Yep, and yeah, being totally obnoxious and amazing. It was super fun.
And the weather couldn't have been any better for it. I mean, we didn't get above 75 the entire time, and in the fort, it was cooler than that even.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm sad I missed it. Next year, I'll be there.
We had feedback that passport thing, like people really like that, and it might just be a permanent part of our club, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you be able
Why
to
not?
fit just about every theme, you know?
We've got some more time to work on. You know, it was kind of a rush for David that he 3D printed all of the metals, and
I think he burned out his machine.
Burned out his machine. So I mean, we got more time now. But yeah, it was super fun. There's video on the Keepers page where one of our partner clubs, past presidents, Damon, tried to come up, and he ordered one of each and was going to sit down and drink all 24 in a row. And hats off to Damon. I think he made it to 19 before he tapped out. But we did have, I think a couple of people did that, like actually walked up and did all 24. I want to say Damon's dad.
His dad came back. Yeah.
Damon's dad came back while Damon was tapping out, and then slowly worked his way through all 24 while kind of being a dad over Damon, you know, and kind of lording it over. And that was beautiful. And it was great. I guess the extra special part there is Damon and Duke are part of KGB, and their theme this year was speakeasy. And so they're both dressed up very nice, and Duke was in a suit. And so to have Duke in a suit and fedora just slowly, you know,
slumped over in a chair at our bar.
Slumped over. Duke was sitting there drinking.
Oh, yeah.
24 beers, watching his kid, you know, regret for life decisions, and it was awesome. They're just amazing. There's some video of that out there. And then we rolled into karaoke on Saturday night. Dead Grass is already won at this point. Dead Grass is awarded on Saturday morning with the Beer Cup Awards. But we still had karaoke planned, and it was a huge hit. We had another, majority of the camp come over, and we had a lot of people come up to me and just say, they were just shocked every time they turned around. We were doing something to bring the entire camp over. And on that one, so Mark Hibbert's brother, I can't remember his name.
Adam or Alex?
No, he's posted on our page. I'll find it. But anyway, maybe that's it. Ryan. No, it's Ryan.
Ryan. Oh my God. Why is my going with A's? Yeah.
Ryan Hibbert came out, set up all of his stuff, was an amazing karaoke host. We had a lot of members get up and do some great tunes. I knew that Brian Fisher was a front man before, and I knew he could sing, but to actually hear it was like, holy shit, that dude was amazing. There were some people from other clubs. I don't even know who these people were. There was some lady that could sing wonderfully well. We had Dan from Livingston that did a couple of really great jams. But I think the to top it all off, you got Matt McQuillan damn near killed himself doing Ice Ice.
I was to say, I thought I saw a video of, or maybe it was a live video at some point of Matt doing some karaoke.
I mean, he's doing it as only Matt can. He's got the energy, the excitement around it. Unfortunately, his lungs weren't there for it, and I actually had my phone in hand ready to dial 911. We're yelling at him to breathe in between verses. You could actually go and listen. I think Ryan uploaded the entire audio of it. You can listen to it. It's amazing, but to see it in person, Matt was my motherfucking hero. Like that was one of the best things I've seen at Homebrew Fest, and I'm glad that he survived the ordeal. So
Good job, Matt.
oh yeah. But yeah, Homebrew Fest, it was awesome.
Always is every year.
The award ceremony went well, I think,
Yep.
as far as beer cup goes.
Yeah, I'm glad to be done with it. You know, I got the medals in the mail on Saturday. I've got 4 medals behind me to give out. You know, Jordan, and then a couple other keepers. I think I've got Nate, Steve Rogups, and Greg Tuppers. And then we'll be done. But it was fun to finally get. You know, kind of. We've been holding on to this news for 2.5 months, judged, and you know, kind of keeping it a secret, and you know, almost every meeting or every time we're around other keepers, they're trying to talk to us about it, and it's like, you know,
that's rough. That's rough, man.
I would like to shorten the time between judging and awards, but Brian and I can talk about that some more. But yeah, no, it was just super cool to get the new medals out there. Everybody seemed to enjoy those. The keepers won, you know, Homebrew Club of the Year, and it was fun to give all the keepers the medals. But most importantly, I think it was super cool that Brian took his first Best of Show. So
I did.
That was fantastic, man.
I took it for the mead and cider, and another keeper, Jason Glatz, got it for beer.
That's the same beer that he made for Bell's, right?
No.
Oh, I thought it was, because that was also a New Zealand.
He won with an IPA.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the IPA. Okay, all right. I thought it was New Zealand Pilsner that took it.
The New Zealand Pilsner actually took a bronze in Michigan Beer Cup.
Oh, damn! All right,
and
still, you guys are both killing it. Fucking fantastic. We took everything, and happy to be called a keeper.
It was fun, you know. So the keeper part of me, and I'm sure Brian agrees. Like, it was super fun to see keepers win their first Best of Show, both in beer and mead and cider. I mean, to have both at once, that was super awesome. The beer cup organizer of me, I really want, and Brian and I have been talking with David, even trying to figure out like ways that we can maybe acknowledge some of the other clubs, or you know, do a Gambrina style award. I really want some other clubs to win this. It would be amazing to me if a different club could win it every year. You know, that just showed that the rest of the community was growing like Keepers has been growing.
Medals per entry, Keepers wasn't even in the top 2. I'm not sure who was top 3, but we had a lot of entries, and we obviously had a lot of medals, but it's because we had a lot of entries. Like, if you average it out, Grand Rapids actually, I think, was killing it.
So like medals to entries, Keepers was in like 8th place. It wasn't even top 5. If we do a true Gambrina style award, you know, for like the, you know, kind of like the percentage of points versus you know, entered beers, it's actually Primetime, you know, and I haven't told anybody that, so that's news if anybody from Primetime wants it. So if we would have done a Gambrina style award, Primetime out of Grand Rapids would have won that. And we may do something like that next year.
I was gonna say we definitely should, because I think that's definitely something to showcase, because it's easy to take like that shotgun approach.
I agree.
But like, if you know you're submitting nothing but your good shit, also, that I think that deserves some recognition.
Yep.
Like, absolutely.
Second place was Rivertown out of Grand Rapids. And holy shit! You know, Grand Rapids. Yeah. Grand Rapids is really you know, bringing the fire. Like, you know, I know there's separate clubs up there, but yeah, if Grand Rapids kind of got together with a concerted effort, they would be knocking some shit around. That would be awesome.
Speaking of Grand Rapids, like, this is completely tangent offside. Did I hear that O'Connor's is closing?
It
is closed.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
looking for a buyer. To the best of my knowledge, they were not able to find one, and so they're just shutting down permanently.
Oh, well,
Somebody, I believe, is taking over the O'Connor's homebrew competition, at least in spirit, maybe.
okay.
Uh, um, don't know for sure. I can't really speak to whether that is actually happening or not, but some of the GR guys wanted to make sure that kept happening. So who knows? I know that the Beer City BJCP group up in Grand Rapids, who we should have on the show.
You should.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should have them on the show. But in any case, they are not only interested in getting their judging certifications, but they're interested in running some comps up there too. Not that Grand Rapids doesn't have a lot of comps already, but yeah, I think that'd be good.
That was my I don't want to see a local shop shut down, but that was honestly my main interest in it because I have homebrew shops down here, but I just didn't want to see another. I didn't want to see like a local homebrew competition, bite the dust because I honestly feel like we almost need more of them in the area or within the tri-state area at least. So
absolutely. It's funny. Brian and I were out with Tim and Brandon helping judge Michigan State Fair a few weeks back, and I was surprised there were a few people that came up to me and asked me when or if we would merge Michigan State Fair and Michigan Beer Cup together. Which, for history, I'm not going to go into the long story, but Michigan Beer Cup arose from the ashes of the original Michigan State Fair homebrew competition after the Michigan State Fair kind of went on hiatus for a few years, and so Beer Cup kept on in spirit. And then when Blair and his family brought Michigan State Fair back, and they started the new homebrew competition, there was Blair did reach out to Michigan Beer Cup and make sure there was no issues and everybody was be friendly with each other, which is great. But I was just surprised, and somebody asked me in front of Blair, and I was like, I never want to merge.
no, not at all.
Nothing against them. It's not. Brian and I want to help Blair as much as we can, and the Michigan State Beer Cup, or Michigan State Fair comp. But I want to see more competition. I don't want to see less. I don't want to take comp out of this.
Yeah, we don't need to consolidate.
That's. I want more. And Brian and I have, and I think we've said this before in the air. We've talked about doing another, beer competition. Maybe that's not specifically Michigan focused.
In the spring.
Yeah.
So the
like pre-nationals. Get your
I mean, just a larger, sort of national competition. It doesn't need to be part of any circuit or anything. But the thing is that Michigan right now does not have a competition that is qualified to be a part of the Circuit of America for the Master Homebrew program. And that's part of the Circuit of America's goal, is to have like a competition in every state. Michigan, the Michigan Beer Cup was invited, but Jason and I sort of talked it over, and we got some feedback from some of the other people that participate in the Beer Cup. And something like 90 or more % of our entries this year were from Michigan. And part of the requirements to be on the Circuit of America is that it has to be open to entries from everywhere. We have to allow shipped entries. And if we do that, then our Michigan percentage is going to drop to probably 50% or less, and that's not fair to all of the Michigan people who want to enter this competition. We had over 400 entries just from Michigan this year. I think I'll have to get an actual count, but it's damn close to that.
I think it was over 450. So we had very few out of state.
Okay,
our rules, the rules of Michigan Beer Cup state that it is open to Michigan residents. In the past, we haven't really policed that very strongly. And there have been a few. I know some of the Kansas City Beer Meisters enter, or have entered, and there was somebody this year from Rhode Island or something, and that's fine. Like it's a very small number, and so honestly would take up more time to kind of police that and push those people out. But that said, we're not opening it up to to nationwide. We are keeping it primarily Michigan focused. We talked to people. That was the the feeling and the intent of the community, and we don't want to damage that. But if we decide that we're crazy enough, we may start up another spring-based competition versus the fall-based beer cup and open that nationwide. But I've always said, like, we need to get through this first year first and see how we feel. And now that we're technically like a 1 week past the first year, I feel like we could do it.
Yeah. Well, how many out of state medals did you have to mail out?
One.
One.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And,
I have the list right here in front of me. Let me, if I can open it. NBC Mail. And it was Ryan, and I'm going to mess up his name, but he's probably not watching, but Ryan Vinay from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was the only one, and he won a silver, or I don't know what.
Congrats, Ryan. That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, Ryan Vinay was the only out of state Michigan person that won this year.
Congrats, Ryan.
Yeah.
Michigan State Fair accepts out of state entries, but I think there's some sort of discrepancy with like the medals that get mailed out that makes them like a not 100% qualify or something like that. I don't know the exact details, but
so I've heard that they charge, and I talked to Blair briefly about this, but so if you're out of state and you want your medal shipped to you, you have to pay shipping and handling. That's the root of it. I think that's fair.
He keeps his entry fees super cheap.
That's why Blair Michigan State Fair entry fees are some of the cheapest I've ever seen. Like, I think ours are pretty cheap, but his is like half of what ours is. So, considering just to mail one medal out to an in-state, I don't remember what Ryan's was in Pennsylvania, but it's like $6 to mail out a medal on top of the medal fee, which, Blair's medals are probably in the $9-10 range. And
it's more than ours. Yeah. They're like, what do you call when you add color to the medals?
That paint fill.
Yeah. Something like that. But there's a word for it I can't think of.
So, the fact that he wants, to cover a few bucks for shipping and handling, I think is totally fair. I know, and I'm not, no offense to the Master Homebrewer program, but I know that they didn't like that rule, and that's their decision. But I just think when you really look at the cost,
Thanks, Lori. Jesus.
Yeah. When you really look at the cost of the entry fee, especially when you compare it to like a national or like a Glint Cap or something like that, where you're paying $30 an entry, and Michigan State Fair is like $6 or something.
Something, I don't know. Yeah.
But, so whatever. I'm super excited. Brian and I are going to the Michigan State Fair award ceremony this coming Friday. So
I believe we're going to stream again. We're still getting confirmation from Blair that it's okay for us to do that. I'm sure it will be. I just haven't created an event yet. So if you have entries in and you can't be there and you want to watch, or you got a medal or whatever, look for the event on our page later. I will say too that if you've never volunteered to judge or steward the state fair competition, come next year. I'm sure like most of his budget is actually probably blown on the food. We had like a catered breakfast, a catered lunch. We had pizza after judging was over, and like all the beer that we could drink. It was ridiculous. It was like traditional German fare. It wasn't like grilled cheese sandwiches. It was like German potatoes and stuffed chicken and like it was great.
Because he has a hotel attached to his event center, he gave like stupid cheap hotel rooms. So hats off to Blair for that, and really appreciate that. I wish we could do more beer cup stuff that way, but
have we made the official announcement about the Michigan Beer Cup judging for next year?
I mean, we announced it on stream, or I announced it with the awards, but
yes.
To recap it, we're going to have judging here in Kalamazoo. I have to work out the dates and the details, but tentatively we'll be at the One Well production facility. Super excited about that, not having to drive back and forth to Detroit what felt like every other week.
It was a lot.
And then also, just to be able to tap into some of the judges, like from the Grand Rapids group, I know there will be a lot more certified judges come, comp time next year, and then the Kalamazoo crew, and just really looking forward to trying it here. Totally open to moving it around. May try to take it back to the State Fairgrounds next year, or
Ann Arbor or Lansing.
Yeah, somewhere else. But I'm just excited that, judging is going to take place in Kalamazoo next year. I'm still hoping that we can split it up into 2 events, because when we did 465 entries over the course of 2 days. That's 300 plus beer on Saturday and about 90-ish mead cider on Sunday. It was just a long weekend. It's hard to come back that second day. So I'd really love to be able to do beer on a Saturday in Kalamazoo and then mead on another Saturday.
We lost more than half of our volunteers for the second day, like it's exhausting. Like people just can't give up a whole weekend, and I don't blame them.
Like 75%.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
It was a huge cut on who showed up Sunday versus Saturday. And it is just because, and a lot of them told me, like, I can't take the whole weekend off to do this. But, if they can maybe they can take a weekend off in June to do mead and a weekend off in July or early August.
Or a day.
Yeah, right. Sorry, a day, not a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we still have that to figure out. A big thing, and I'll be doing a post on it this week. We really want to bring more money and more prizes to Beer Cup, and not money for us. Like we're not in this to make a profit, and there hasn't been a profit. We want to be able to give prizes to the silver and bronze, and maybe even someday honorable mentions. And that to do that, we need more sponsorship and more donations. And so I'm going to be putting out a post on Beer Cup site here like this week, looking to see if we can bring in somebody to help us, kind of coordinate some of that stuff and help us hit up some vendors and, do a better job. I know Brian and I, it was kind of a second thought. Once we got the gold medal gift cards secured this year, we were pretty much at our limit. So I know I blindsided Keith Manchester with it on Saturday when we were drinking a beer, or whatever day that was. Friday. I think so. What day is today?
I'm pretty sure it was Friday.
Today's Monday.
Yeah, it was Friday. Yeah.
But and if you can help, that's cool. You was watching it earlier, so I won't hold you to it. But I am looking for help. Just somebody that can engage vendors, and it was Friday. He's still watching. I love it. But yeah, I think that's the next big iteration for Beer Cup is how do we get better prizes and more awards and more cash to do stuff for our winners. So that'll be coming. My
very first Beer Cup, which was also my very first MHF. They got a bunch of prizes from vendors, and they sorted them out onto all these tables, and there was like a bronze, a silver, and a gold table. And if you're they organized all the categories randomly so that the person winning American Lager wouldn't get first pick just because they entered category 1 first.
Yep.
And I happened to take gold in American IPA that year, and it was one of the first categories called. And I got to go up to the prize table, and I got a 3-way secondary regulator, which like is not cheap. Like those things are like $150 probably, like as a prize. Like that was so cool. Like I took that back. I'm like, holy shit. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I know it's worth something, and I can find a use for it later. And I did. It's on the back of a jockey box now, but I don't know. It's just one of those memories. Like if we can get like a first time homebrewer or something, to win like an awesome prize, like even a bronze medal, and get like, a gift card or something cool. They used to do gift cards for bottle caps from Bottle Mark, I think, or Growler Tag or something like that. Like that was cool. I have custom bottle caps downstairs still. All that shit was super fun. Like that's part of what really got me hooked onto like competitions and stuff.
In all my early years of winning medals at beer cups, I one time I had a box where I had over $100, probably like closer to $200 in Bottle Mark gift cards. I had won past beer cups I never used. I always wanted to, and I always forgot about it. But no, like my first one, I think I got a Blickman beer gun, and I've seen chill plates and kettles and all kinds of cool shit.
You came back to Keepers after one of those competitions. You're like, hey guys, like I won a beer gun and like a ton of PBW and Star San, like just by entering beers. Like I spent more on my entry fees, like now you got more in prizes than you spent on entry fees. Like,
well, that was the year. The year I got the beer gun, I think I came home with 200 pounds of malt. They were giving out 50-pound bags of malt.
Wow,
that's fantastic.
God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's a different world these days, but maybe it'll get back there.
Yeah, COVID, messed that up, and it was hard. It was even hard this year for me to ask some of the smaller vendors for a donation or money, but I think we're getting back to normal, and I think there's, if we had help, there's bigger vendors out there that are interested in engaging. So that's all. So more to come from Beer Cup on that front. I think we're gonna focus on expanding the prize pool and diversifying the prize pool. I know everybody this year got Hopcraft supply gift cards. That was just, to be honest with you, that was just because it was easy for me. And Brian, we did one email, we got that thing knocked out, we're done. I get though that there are other homebrew supply stores and there are people that maybe would like to support a local business. So we're going to see what we can do. I'm not, promising anything, but we definitely want to diversify the prize pool and increase the prize pool. And
our first thought too was, it's because Hopcraft ships, and with Adventures gone, like that's one of the few maybe that's left that does that. I think there's a couple left, but we could even do something like, here's a voucher for a whatever gift card to your local homebrew supply shop. Let us know what that is, and we'll buy it for you. Make sure you get it. That sort of thing. Like it's a little bit more work on our part, but that would be worth it to make sure that money gets around a little bit. Like that's totally fine with me. We'll think it through, but we're always we're interested in other people's opinions too, because we don't necessarily want to make the rules as to who gets what prizes. Like if people have ideas and they want shit, like let us know, and if we can do it, then
hell yeah.
I mean, this is this is not about us, right? This is about like the Michigan homebrew community.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. But no, I'm having fun. It was great doing this and taking this on. and Nikki and Dan, like I've said many times, they gave us a great platform to work from, and it was super, super fun. And there were a few little bumps and a few little things we learned along the way, and but I think that we'll take those and build on them and make the comp even better next year. So I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we might be crazy enough to start a whole second competition.
Which means we'll have to design a whole nother medal, which was the most difficult part of this entire competition.
Yeah.
Thank you again to Shayna and Amy for helping get that sorted.
I will say, there have been multiple posts and comments, and people came up to me, and everybody was like really happy with the medal, and that I'm really grateful for, because that was the hardest thing about this comp, is designing that medal, and then being concerned that people were gonna not like it. So I'm glad that went over well, and I like it. I think it's cool. I think the girls did a good job.
So Tim made a comment earlier. He said best beer of Homebrew Fest was Larry's Old Ale in this book. Larry from Cass River, which I had, and I thought that was like an amazing beer. I think that beer actually took an award. If that's the same beer that I'm thinking of, I think that beer was made with like a historically like revived yeast and sent into like another competition with those yeasts and took an award. But did you have any like super memorable like beer or anything at MHF this year that you can like remember?
I mean, I was more focused on the gang beers, I think. So Keepers got to host or kind of set the rules for gang beer, and we put that out, to essentially use Michigan ingredients. And I will say I was really impressed with all the gang beers that I tasted. The Casses did their pawpaw fruit, which I grew up in pawpaw, so that one I was fond of, and I could actually taste the fruit. I was talking to Keith again, since he's watching his spruce tip beer. You and I did that spruce beer with another member a few years ago, and it was horrible. But Keith's just the tip IPA was amazing. Or sorry, not Keith's, Usual Suspects. Motor City Mashers, I think, knocked it out of the park with when we came up with the rules for this year's gang beer about just being a simple Michigan only beer. I was thinking of a lager in my head, and it's like Mashers did this just super crushable American light lager made with Rice Krispies, which was brilliant in my, especially the beers that are close to my heart. And that was, I drink so much of that. It was so good. But honestly, like Michigan Mead Coalition, I don't want to forget anybody, but everybody that did a gang mead or beer was really good. And we had, I think, more people participate in gang beer than we have in the last couple of years, because it's kind of crazy. Lori calling out Prime Times. You're right. Absolutely. It was awesome. So Pontiac did theirs was the mulberry, and I was super impressed with that, because like it wasn't sweet, and I like that. It was like this dry mulberry fruit beer. It was really good. So those are the ones that stand out to me. I mean, I was more focused on those gang beers, and they were pretty universally great. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm trying to think of the ones that you didn't call out. So there were probably like 200 beers on tap, over the course of the weekend, and you sort of like lose track of stuff. And it's easy to stay at your home bar and drink a lot off of your own taps because it's familiar or whatever. But there was I think Snobs had a Dortmunder that I thought was really good. That was on from like Thursday on, and I drank maybe more of that beer over the course of the weekend than anything else. If it was them, it was something from Snobs. It was some sort of lager, but I think it was a Dortmunder.
So All right, now you call me out. I believe Bill at Snobs made this ginger. We called it gingeroo. It was
I remember the label, but yeah, I don't remember what it was.
huge Shiraz. It was like it was a that's why it was Australian. So it's like the Shiraz grape juice, or must, whatever it is, and then he added ginger to that, because I remember like on Wednesday sitting in Snob's tent and he trying to help him come up with a name, and we were throwing out all kinds of stupid shit, and finally came up with like gingeroo to kind of play on the Australian bit of it. And I think I told like 15 people to go try that, and it was that one, for not being a game beer, not even really being a beer. I'm not sure what that was. Braggot, I don't know. But it was really fucking good. So
I also need to thank AABG for having both regular and carbonated water on tap this year. That was awesome. I was drinking beer at their tent specifically so I could go and get their water too. Like that was really, really helpful.
Nikki does this. She takes pics of their tap list. I think next year we need to try.
That's so smart. Yeah.
Pictures of like everybody's tap list and post it. That would be fun.
The thing I really liked about KGB, I think it was KGB, is that they had who brewed the beer too, if I remember right. And I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
If you know somebody and you specifically want to try something that they made, you don't have to go around and ask. You can just look at their tap list. So I like that idea. Yeah, that was super cool.
I saw a post. I think Michelle Matt posted that there were 196 kegs. And I was actually going to reach out to her because I think there were 196 taps.
Ah, okay.
I know that there were us, and I know several other clubs did full tap changeouts. I know KGOB did.
Oh yeah, Nikki says it wasn't KGOB. Okay, who was I thinking of? Though one of the clubs had names of the brewers.
I know
you figure out who that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know there were full tap takeovers or switches. From Friday to Saturday, Keepers of Craft, we swapped out 22 of our 24 kegs. So I actually think there were well over 200 kegs there, and almost 200 taps would be my guess. But I gotta ping Michelle in chat if I remember.
Yeah.
But no, man. Homebrew Fest was awesome. And since we're talking about it, and Jordan, if you're free in February, there is going to be the first annual Winter Michigan Homebrew Festival. Where if you went to Homebrew Fest, and I don't have my tag handy, but if you went to Homebrew Fest this year, we had the Summer Homebrew Fest on one side, and if you flipped it over, it said Winter Homebrew Fest, and that pass will get you entry into the one-day Winter Homebrew Fest in February at Camp Agawam that we're going to be setting up in the near future. And if you didn't go, then I'm sure, Jordan, I got a tag for you if you want to go.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm supposed to have a trip in February, but that hasn't necessarily been planned yet. So give me the deets, and we'll see what we can work out.
Okay. So super excited about that. I know I talked to Dan, and they tried to pull one off last year, but it didn't really happen. And I think that'll be fun this year to just get a chance to go over and see a few friends that we don't know the Homebrew Fest. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of people we only see once a year. Maybe occasionally if we, judge a competition with them or something, but it's a big state. That'll be a lot of fun.
So what else from Homebrew Fest? I mean, I think we covered the high points. Food this year was amazing.
I was just going to talk about food. Yeah,
we switched from doing like Feast of Friday and then kind of fend for yourself on Saturday to having clubs provide food both Friday and Saturday.
I was going to ask how that worked out.
Awesome.
I can't
Perfect.
even tell you, like, everybody that every club really brought it. I mean, AABG was. There's a picture out there somewhere.
Their line was ridiculous.
They set up a rotisserie, roasted rotisserie chicken thing, where they cooked like 40 or 50 chickens at once, and they just had them like turning over a coal bed, and that was awesome. KGOB did their hot dog bar. There was a baked potato bar. There was a couple of different taco type scenario things, smash tacos on Saturday.
Yep.
And wings down at Mashers. Pontiac had pasties because they did a whole.
Oh shit, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, they found some old lady. Mark was telling me about it. They had some old lady that made these little mini pasties, and they brought in a couple trays of those. They were made like that day. Some of the best pasty crust I ever had. But their theme was deer camp, and yeah, so the food was on point this year. It was just amazing. Everybody.
Keepers had steak.
Livingston Social set up the kitchen.
That's true. It's true. Livingston had steak.
We ran the bar. They ran the kitchen, and Paul and Maurice. I'm gonna fuck his name up. I know Paul, Dan, Bob, and Mauricio is what I'm gonna say, but I think I'm fucking that up. Just amazing. Steaks and what else? We had other things. I can't remember.
We had
Gravy.
quesadillas, and we had burgers.
Yep.
They took some of the leftover burger buns that we had, and they made garlic bread out of them. Those were good. Like garlic bread made out of the tops of onion buns. Oh my god, it was so good.
Nikki's coming in clutch for me here. I got this. Hold on. This was at AABG, Jordan.
Yes.
I saw a picture of that.
Insane?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. It was fucking amazing. Yeah, let me stop sharing that. So much good. Yeah. So can't wait till next year. I mean, it was nice to be done and over with. It's nice to have everything kind of clean and packed away. But I am definitely ready to start planning for next year and kind of get back out there again. Although I do have to get the bar out. So we have a member that's having a wedding coming up. So congratulations, Casey and his future wife.
Casey.
And so for the Keepers Bar will be out and serving 7 beers at Casey's reception.
That'll be awesome. I'll be out there. I've made a blackberry wine for him, so I will have bottles of that out there on the bar. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. Got anything else to say, Jordan, about beer camp? I know you didn't make it this year, but
I didn't.
Things you're looking forward to next year because you'll be there.
Yeah, just being there.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. So let's talk about Michigan brews since we haven't done that in forever. So in January, we sat out and we came up with this list of shows that we were going to do. And we were going to do 2 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
with like some months having like with like a couple week break. I think we committed to maybe like 22 episodes or something.
Yep.
Or 24. Yeah.
20 to 24 episodes is what we were going for. Hang on one second. Because I have this here. I want to say that we actually like successfully knocked off like maybe 5.
Of the topics, not show count. Yeah.
No topics, which for some reason I cannot find it.
It's in notes, I think, the notes app.
We did
2023 shows. So yeah, 5. So we have officially, out of all of the things that we came up with, to do shows about in 2023, we had it looks like 28.
No, we did the macro lager blind tasting, so 6.
Thank you for updating that.
Yeah.
So we had like roughly 28 different show ideas where we were going to target to get 20 to 24 of them done, and we did 6.
So we have a lot of content coming up. Hopefully,
Good
that'll
job.
be fun, including episode 100, 2 episodes from now, which we totally have planned out. It's all written down. We are good to go. You can totally trust us on this.
Nod your head, Jordan. It sure is.
Thanksgiving is already a given. Friendsgiving.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll have Friendsgiving. We didn't get to brew. We yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get to connect with Gluten-Free Brian before MHF or NHC.
He was out there as part of the gluten-free brewing. He did like a presentation, or he helped with the presentation out there, right?
Yeah.
So we can at least get his feedback on how that went. We need to reach out again.
We're going on 3 years of not having the beer glasses or drinkware show.
I can't even remember the name of the woman that suggested that now. I'm gonna have to go back and look that up.
Oh, hold on. Hi, Connie. Say hi to your mom, Brian.
Oh, hi, mom. Hi.
Yeah, so so we've got things like Clone Recipe. We were supposed to hook up with KVCC. We talked to them briefly, but then we dropped the ball on that one. Not their fault. We of course want to do some homebrew reviews. We've got to figure out the episode 100 show. We're going to talk malt. We're going to talk brewing books. Did we actually do non-traditional styles?
Yeah, we did historical. Non-traditional, I think we were going to do something along the lines of like beers that people like to brew that don't necessarily fit within like the BJCP guidelines, like pastry stouts or
all right. I was hoping
like other things. They're like New World, like New Zealand hop saisons and things like that.
Oh, speaking of like Jeff Genzer, one of our guys brewed a saison stout that killed it.
Yeah, totally. People love that thing.
Was drinking the shit out of that. Anyway, so yeah, we've got one more show of bullshit that we'll pick out of this list here before we have to pull a
It's not bullshit, it's quality content.
Quality, yeah.
potato. Before we got to pull episode 100 out. That's what I was going to say. So,
well, before we totally wrap up too, I also want to call out Brian Fisher one more time. He has a YouTube channel that he started not too long ago called Let's Get Judgy, and I will link it after the show. I can put in the links right now, in the comments right now. But he recently just put out an episode, or not an episode. We do episodes. He recently put out a video about the BJCP and what the BJCP is, sort of, and how to get started. And it's a really short, like 8-minute video, and it's like super well done and really informative. And I think he deserves a lot of props for putting forth the effort to sort of get BJCP judges, trained up and interested and hyped and stuff. And I'm hoping the BJCP gets a whiff of him too, because I think that like the video that he just made is like something that they need to use as like a promo video. It's really good. I watched it last night. So 100% say everybody that's watching, like if you're interested in the BJCP, go watch that after we close out tonight. It's really good.
Why isn't this why isn't he all over keepers with this shit? Like this I didn't even know he was doing this. I mean, and honestly, it feels like he's ripping off your short pours and really doing a better job of it.
I told him that exact same thing yesterday. He's like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna make like a video about the taking the online exam, and I'm gonna like link your short pour episode." I'm like, bro, like you're gonna do such a better job than I am. Like after watching this video, like don't even worry about it. Like nobody needs to watch my garbage.
Love that, is it called tips? I fucking love that.
Yeah.
So no, this is awesome. I did not know he was doing this. Here, let me. Did you paste it already? Oh, you did. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Gail, you should watch that video and let us know what you think. I think he did a really, really good job. Yeah.
Brian's a newer member of Keepers of Craft, and he's honestly like our new spirit animal or some shit. He's just crazy full of energy and good vibes and everything. He's fucking awesome. So, and I know he'll listen to this in like 6 months because he's like slowly working his way through our episodes, and he'll enjoy that. But yeah, I fucking love Brian. So
awesome.
That's amazing. What else? Well, yeah, we got to figure out the next show.
When are we gonna do it? What's yeah, that's the $1 million question, coming from the guy who's got an infant. That's
Well, we'll plan it out well in advance next time. Maybe next week, maybe the week after, but I say within the next 2 weeks. So
I'll say if it's within the next 2 weeks, we can always do something along the lines.
Your birthday is exactly 2 weeks from today. Are you going to be?
True. That is.
Are you going to be?
Monday. I should be available.
Okay, let's have a Jordan birthday episode.
Do a birthday stream. That's
Jordan
yeah.
Birthday seltzer.
It's like pre-gaming for episode 100, right?
That's
it's
right.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Well, to recap a little bit for tonight, MHF went super well this year. The weather was beautiful. The clubs were maybe down a little bit, but in general, I think the content, quality of beer, effort put forward was higher. The homebrew community is still very large in Michigan. We talked to the organizers of MHF this year and asked how the turnout was in terms of people that paid for tags, and it was very, very good. I think it was at least on par or very close with last year. So even though homebrewing a little bit seems to be on a decline right now, I don't know if you listen to Brewlosophy. I think the people that took the Brewlosophy, like what's the survey? Yeah. Their annual survey. Yeah, I think the participation was down by like half this year or something close to that. But that doesn't seem to be the case in Michigan, at least. So we are doing very good. There was a homebrew shop that, besides O'Connor's, that sounded like they were shutting down next to Greg Winters. But I think they're actually going to stay in business now. I'm not sure what happened down there, but things are not as good as they could be probably, but I think we're doing better than a lot of other states. So yeah, we're still trying to do what we can to keep the hobby thriving as much as we can. And, considering the turnout to the homebrew competition this year, the Michigan Beer Cup, like we put a cap of 450, and I think we got like 436, 39 entries, something like that.
No, we put a cap of 500, and we got 465.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's pretty good. Mostly just from Michigan, right? Again,
Yep.
So as a state, I think we're absolutely killing it. I've also gotten feedback from judges and entrants from other states who really appreciate all the feedback that they get from Michigan competitions. I think that we do a really, really good job up here, and we're really putting forth the effort. So really proud to be a part of this community up here. And come out to MHF next year if you didn't come this year, and network and meet some people. And it's a really awesome time.
Hell yeah.
It's my 2 cents. My 2 cents recap. Watch out for our next couple episodes. State Fair, that's coming up.
So hopefully we'll be streaming State Fair. We got to confirm that with Blair. But now that Homebrew Fest is over and Beer Cup is over, we can shift our focus back to Michigan Brews a little bit more. And I do want to try to get an episode out every couple of weeks. So if we do that, and we do, it's going to put our episode 100 landing somewhere around mid-September, and we got to figure out what the fuck to do with that. But yeah, let's shoot to get back either next Monday or the week after, and get this shit show going again. So
we'll schedule it. We'll get a episode invite posted roughly a week in advance. We can't do more than a week in advance because Facebook gets angry about that. Maybe they changed it recently. Like for whatever reason now, when we schedule something on Facebook, it creates an event instead of a scheduled live stream. So maybe we can schedule more than a week in advance now. I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll try, but
yeah, no, thanks for sticking with us, and thanks for everybody that came out to Homebrew Fest and or participated in Beer Cup. I know these three things are kind of merging all in together for us. So yeah, we'll be back in a couple of weeks or less.
All right, thank you all. Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Slap.